An aluminium machine part weighs 220 newtons in air and 138.6 newtons in water. What is the density of the aluminium part? So let's write that down. We have 220 newtons, and they also said 138.6 newtons. And it asks for what is the density. The symbol for density is that one, of the aluminium part. Okay, so newtons tells us these two are forces, but how can we identify which force is which? Should we just number them 1 or 2? Well, here's the clue. An aluminium machine part weighs 220 newtons in air, so weight is Fg, and this much in water. Okay, so let's draw that. So some part of an aluminium, it weighs Fg 220 newtons. But when you put it in water, suddenly its apparent weight is less, 138. So this must be not the weight, but the combination of the weight and the buoyancy force. In other words, this is the F net. F net. Okay, so remember, F net is equal to Fg minus Fb. Right, we want to find the density of the object. So the force of the weight is equal to the density of the object times the volume times gravity. Now we want to find this one here. We know G is 9.8. We know the force of gravity, which is 220, but we don't know V. So how do we find the volume? Well, there's another formula which looks very similar to this, and it's the force of buoyancy equals the density of the fluid this time times the volume times gravity. So let's just quickly rearrange this. If you wanted to rearrange this so that you're finding V, because V is what you really want here, okay, it would look something like this, by the way. V equals force of buoyancy divided by density times G. That's how you cross multiply to find V, and then you put that in there. But anyways, just so we know, G again is 9.8. The density of the fluid, this fluid is water. So the density of fluid of water is always 1,000. But what is the buoyancy force? Do they tell us? They gave us F net. Here's the clue. So even though F buoyancy isn't told, we can find it from this formula. Okay? F net equals force of weight minus force of buoyancy. So if we rearrange this, force of buoyancy will equal to, when it's rearranged, Fg minus F net. Okay? And you've got all of this, you find V, you put that in here, you find the density of the object.